Hello everybody and welcome to Markers and Monsters. I am your host Colin and I am super excited to be getting right into the Doctor Who-athon 2017. Yep, I'm a big old Doctor Who fan. I figured this video would be a good way for me to introduce Doctor Who to anybody who hasn't seen it. And while that's happening, you can watch me draw in the 12th Doctor back there in the video. Now, Doctor Who premieres in exactly 1 week as of this recording, 9 o'clock on Saturday. And so that's 7 full days of Doctor Who that we've got to get to. You guys are getting at least a video a day. There may be more, there may be some other fun stuff. I've just been drawing a ton of Doctor Who stuff. I've been real into it, so I figure what the heck, right? Run a Doctor Who-athon and you guys get to enjoy. Now, as you can see there, I've just kind of blocked in the 12th Doctor. He's got his guitar. He's pointing out like a rock star. And that's a lot of fun. We'll be getting into the coloring here real soon. But like I said, let me introduce any of you new viewers to Doctor Who. Doctor Who is a British science fiction television show, and it started in 1963. Yeah, way back when. It is... I'm trying to describe this in a way that's not going to sound goofy, but the show is kind of goofy, and that's what I love about it. But it's basically about an alien called the Doctor, not Doctor Who, the Doctor, and he has a TARDIS, which is a spaceship / time machine, and with it he can travel to any part of the universe at any time he wants, and basically wherever he travels to, he's got some companions. They're usually girls from Earth that he takes with him, it seems like. But his companions and he go to these various places and have adventures, and they are always the good guys. The Doctor is a force for good. He always stops evil wherever he finds it, which just so happens to be at every place he seems to go. And they go and they have adventures, and you get to see lots of different alien planets and different alien species and interesting plots. I'd kind of related a bit to the original 60s Star Trek, kind of. There's less of like an emphasis on a crew or a really organized, federation or anything. It's just him, but just in the general sense of like they just every week go to a different place and experience different creatures and cultures and stuff like that, and fight evil and monsters and all kind of cool stuff like that. So that's the general gist of the show. It's a lot of fun. Now, I am drawing the 12th Doctor, and if you're not a Doctor Who fan, you'll be like, what the heck does that mean? So within the mythos or the lore of the show, the Time Lords of the planet Gallifrey, of which the Doctor is one of them, they have an ability to regenerate when their bodies become incredibly damaged or they're wearing a bit thin, as they say. They can use this regeneration energy 12 times, and basically it creates a new body for them. So that is, if you get shot in the guts or whatever, as long as you're not completely like dead, you can basically regenerate from any wound or whatever if it's severe enough. And this energy is released from the body, and you essentially grow a new one. And when you get a new body, I think it's because the brain gets a little rewired. Even though the Doctor retains his memories, his personality changes a little bit slightly. He's always still a force for good, and he remembers his companions and friends and things like that and all of his adventures. But it's little things like the types of clothes that he likes to wear, the food he likes to eat, the music he likes to listen to. All of that drastically changes, and the little personality quirks too, like one version of the Doctor may be a little bit meaner than the others, or a little bit snarkier, or a little bit more witty, or one of them might be really humorous. So whenever somebody says it's the Xth Doctor or whatever number, that's what that means. So the first person to play the Doctor, William Hartnell, back in the 60s. He lasted for 3 years, and then he rejuvenated. They didn't call it regeneration then, but he rejuvenated when his body was already pretty old. just couldn't handle it anymore, and he became the second Doctor. So now we are on the 12th incarnation of the Doctor, and he is played by Peter Capaldi. And Peter Capaldi is an interesting pick. At first, he was pretty controversial, and the fans did not like him. I feel he really grew into the role, actually a lot. I definitely wouldn't say he is my favorite of the Doctors, but he's really grown on me, and that's one thing I love about Doctor Who is just the variety. You get all these different eras of Doctors, good 10th Doctor stories, good 11th Doctor, and the 12th Doctor is the same. It's a little bit different, and that gives something for everyone. I will say that after his first season of the 12th Doctor, it really picked up. There were some really good episodes in there. The one where the Doctor travels back in time to Sherwood Forest and finds Robin Hood's a real guy and fights robots from outer space that's a good one. But yeah, Peter Capaldi, he really grew on me, and the past couple Christmas specials they've done with him in it have been, I think, really good. So Peter Capaldi, excellent version of the Doctor. He is the 12th Doctor. He plays guitar. He wears sunglasses. He's, maybe a little bit, got a little bit of a meaner edge to him than some of the other guys, but he's also got this incredible sense of fun at times, too. I think he does good in the role. So here he is, looking like a rock star, hanging out with his guitar and his sunglasses, which become a big feature of the second season of Peter Capaldi's. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but it's pretty weird and goofy, and I really like the sunglasses. So Doctor Who is, like I said, to me, it's a lot like the original Star Trek. If you enjoy kind of sometimes silly plots and monsters, not that it's not serious, but there's a lot of times when you just have to kind of turn your sense of disbelief off and just go for the ride and just enjoy what's happening and not think about it too much. And that's where I find that the show has its best appeal. Now, I will say, for anybody that's new to this, there are two eras of Who. There is New Who and Classic Who. So Doctor Who ran beginning in 1963 until it was canceled in 1989. So that's, 26 years of Doctor Who. And that era is called the Classic Era. Now, they tried to revive it in 1996 with a television movie, which I actually have to say I watched on TV when it premiered, so that's pretty neat, even though I didn't really know much about Doctor Who then. In 2005, they brought the series back, and instead of a reboot or anything, it's actually a continuation. So that's how we got so many Doctors. The Classic Who era, including the movie, get up to 8 Doctors. And now with the New Who era, the Peter Capaldi is the 4th in the New Who. But it's all the same story, all the same continuity. Occasionally they'll bring people back from Classic Who into New Who and stuff like that. I would say if you've never watched Doctor Who, start with New Who. The Classic Who is a little bit more of an acquired taste. Again, I really like it. It's a lot like older Star Trek in terms of it's cheesy. The monsters are kind of goofy, which, I love that. Monsters made of trash bags and duct tape. That's good stuff for me, but I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. So start with the New Who. You could even start with they call it Series 1, but that's the first season of the New Who with Christopher Eccleston. And the pilot episode called Rose really introduces you to the characters and the world and gets you into that. So it's good stuff, and I'd say start there, and then you could branch out and go into Classic Who if you want, or watch all the New Who. I would probably say the New Who's a little bit easier to find. I know you can watch them all on Amazon Prime streaming if you guys have that. You can watch all the seasons of New Who and really get into it. And that's where a lot of the fan base is based off of. A lot of people didn't see Classic Who when it was on. I watched a couple episodes here and there on PBS when I was a kid. They'd have the Tom Baker 4th Doctor episodes, which were pretty neat, but I wasn't really a huge fan. It wasn't until, the New Who era that I really started to get into it and watched pretty much most, if not all, of the classic episodes that are available to watch. Alright, so that should hopefully introduce you guys a little bit to Doctor Who. We'll be getting to doing some cool monsters and some fun stuff soon, but I figured this would be a good way just to get you caught up to speed and involved with the characters here. Putting in some stars, and he's got a sparkly shirt, which is always fun. Let's just sign this bad boy up. Take a look at the scan here, and yeah, pretty cool. Peter Capaldi, I'm looking forward to his new season starting. That's next Saturday. That is the 15th at here in the States, 9 p.m. Eastern on BBC America. So that's it for me, guys. Check out my stuff online, and I'm looking forward to getting right down into the Who-athon. So next episode will be up soon. See you guys later. Bye.